All right, so now we are going to talk of the base assembly. So remember, base assembly here is the child of the drying rack. The drying rack is the parent and base assembly is the child. And so the requirement of the child comes directly from the requirement of the parent. We don't sell base assemblies. We only need base assemblies because our company is in the business of selling those drying racks. So I am going to start making 60 drying racks in week 1. Okay. And I know that each drying rack needs one base assembly. We get that from the BOM chart. Okay, so each drying rack needs one base assembly. So my gross requirement for base assembly is the same as the planned order release of the parent. If I needed 2, I would have multiplied this by 2, but I just need 1. So I just take the same thing. I'll explain again. I need to start 60 drying racks in week 1. To start 60 drying racks in week 1, I will need 60 base assemblies ready in week 1. So the 60 base assemblies form the gross requirement for base assemblies. And I can copy this formula across the horizontal. Scheduled receipts. Let's look at that data again. We have a scheduled receipts of 60 in week 1. And we have a projected available in the previous week of 80. So if you look at it, I have 140 available to me totally in week 1. I use up 60. So at the end of week 1, I should have net requirement this 0 because I already have enough, and I should end with 80. All right, that's what I should end up with. And we can do the same thing. So I'll copy the formula here. If you are not aware of how did I get this formula or are confused, I would recommend go back to the video 1, get those formulas from there and understand. But yeah, this is fine. So I have at the end of week 1, I have 80 with me. The gross requirement is 60. So I end up with 20 units. So that's the idea that we start with. All right. Having done this, we have a shortage of 30. So I can order 30. But no, wait, look at the order policy. It's not lot for lot. We need to order 100. That's our supplier's requirement. So I can't order 30. I need to order 100, even though I need only 30. So I plan to receive 100 in week 3. And if you look at the lead time, it's 2 weeks. So I have to release the order 2 weeks before, which is 100 here, and I can copy this. And now I start planning. I would have a 50, there is shortage of 50 in week 4, so I order 100 again. There is no requirement here. There is a shortage of 50 in week 6, so I order 100 again. There is a shortage of 30, so I'll order 100 again, and there is no further requirement. So I have the schedule for base assembly, which is I need to release an order of 100 in week 1, release an order for 100 in week 2, and week 4 and week 5. Now we've created release order schedules for base assemblies. Rack assembly is going to be exactly same, but here we can order lot for lot. We have an opening stock of 150. And again, remember, rack assembly also comes from the drying rack. So requirement, gross requirement of rack assembly will also come from the planned order release of the drying rack, the same thing as base assembly. And here also we just need 1, so it'll be the same numbers as the base assembly. So I'll let you finish the rack assembly on your own, and I will catch you in the next video where we will talk a little bit about top assembly.